Hi, welcome to the Golden Lady. Happy to have you here. Today I'm going to try a recipe that I found on YouTube for banana bread. I happen to have all of the ingredients to make it. Most of them are staples that I keep in the house anyway. I think the only thing that isn't is, I guess, the bananas. So yeah, insert a picture of the person I found the recipe from. This will only be my second time trying banana bread. The first time was not successful. First of all, it didn't have a lot of ingredients in it, and it gave you the option of either butter or vegetable oil, and I thought using the butter would make it taste better, but I think butter doesn't give you the moistness. Her recipe had cinnamon and vanilla, and I thought that would taste better. The other one I think just had cinnamon. I don't know. It was just unsuccessful. So I'm hoping this one will taste better. But I did write the recipe down. I'll also have it in the description box, but this is the little book I keep. I found this on Amazon. But this is where I keep my recipes. And yeah, I wrote it down. So let's give it a try. The ingredients you need, of course, are bananas. Hers called for 3 ripe bananas, room temperature egg, butter, cinnamon, vanilla, flour, cornstarch, brown sugar, baking powder, baking soda, called for vegetable oil, and I think that's it as far as ingredients. And as you can see in my jars, those are staples that I keep in the house all the time. Then some of the tools I'll need. I finally get to use my beautiful hand mixer that my daughter bought me for Christmas. It's the Drew Barrymore Beautiful in Lavender. So I'm excited to use that for the first time. I'll unbox it and show you guys what it looks like. But you have to sift the dry ingredients. I have measuring spoons. I have 2 sets because there's dry ingredients and wet ingredients. I have a couple bowls, one to mash the bananas in, and then one for the dry ingredients and one for the wet ingredients. A masher for the bananas. Although I don't think I'll use this. I'll probably just use a fork, but just so you know what it calls for. And a whisk. And then I have these for the dry ingredients. That's so cute, isn't it? And then one for the wet ingredients, which should only be the vegetable oil. So I'll show you everything I do. Hopefully it turns out okay. We'll see. But let's open this mixer so we can see what it looks like. Oh, she's pretty. Thanks, sweetie. Mama loves it. So cute. I don't know why I brought it to put it on the couch, but nice attachments. And I think we'll figure that out because I'm only using one hand right now. So we'll see how that works when I have two hands. But yeah, there's the, oops, sorry, the new mixer I got. From Beautiful, from my daughter. Okay, let's get cooking. Okay, so the first thing it calls for is 3 large to medium sized ripe bananas. She said about 339 grams approximately, and it doesn't have to be exact, and I'm not weighing it. But I do have 3, so that should be sufficient. The important thing is I am starting with clean hands, so there's that. As I said, I don't think I'm going to use my masher. That just seems like more trouble. I mean, I'm just going to use a fork. I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to work on the dry ingredients. Okay, so we're going to start with the dry ingredients. It calls for 1 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour, and we're going to sift all of these. Actually, let me get my spatula. Sorry about that. It calls for 2 tablespoonfuls of cornstarch. I have have these little, that have a little spoon and a little spatula on the end. I think I got these from Temu. And it calls for a quarter teaspoon of salt, but it also calls for a quarter cup of unsalted butter. But because I have salted butter, I'm not going to add the salt. 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And a teaspoon of baking powder. Okay, I'm going to sift all of these. Then just mix together until everything is well combined. Okay, now we're going to set that aside and do the wet ingredients. And the wet ingredients is 1/4 cup or 56 grams of unsalted butter. As I said, I have salted butter, so I didn't add the salt. 3/4 cups of soft brown sugar. 1/4 cup of unflavored vegetable oil. And cream together on medium with the hand mixer until light and fluffy. So as I said, I'm happy to use my brand new beautiful lavender mixer on medium. Now we're going to add 1 room temperature egg. Mix that until well combined. Now we're going to add in the mashed bananas. And 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Oops. Gotta get a new one. What did I say? 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, I missed the cinnamon somewhere. I missed the cinnamon, the ground cinnamon in the dry ingredients. My bad. So I'm going to go ahead and sift the 3/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon into my dry ingredients because I forgot to add it earlier. Okay, so now that has been added to my dry ingredients. Oh, I'm glad I measured out everything earlier so the video would be seamless, because if I had none, I'm not sure I would have realized I didn't add the cinnamon. Okay, so now we're going to mix all of this until it's well combined. So my beautiful blender worked just fine. Quite nice. Now we're going to add all the dry ingredients. I'm actually stirring in the cinnamon into my dry ingredients, since I didn't add them earlier. Now here we just want to use a spatula to gently fold until it's all combined and not to overmix. One thing I did not do ahead of time, which was the first thing she did on her video, was grease and line the loaf pan. I didn't do that, so I'll probably do that off camera. The other thing she added on the top were walnuts. I don't have any walnuts. I do have pecans, but I don't think I want nuts in my banana bread. So I won't be adding walnuts or pecans. I might even have Brazil nuts and macadamia nuts, but I won't be adding those either. But it does remind me that I have Brazil nuts, macadamia nuts, and pecans. It reminds me that I should have walnuts though. I even have sliced almond. There's just some staples I like to keep, but I don't have walnuts, so I'll need to add that to my grocery list. Okay, that's gently folded. Now I'm going to go ahead and grease and line my pan off camera. Okay, so I got my line pan. It said she greased hers and lined it. So I did the same. I greased it with margarine. So I noticed in the time it took me to line the pan, the consistency of the banana bread changed. It looked like it rose a little bit, got a little fluffier. I'm not sure if that's going to affect how it turns out. Yeah, I should have had it ready. I don't know if the fact that it sat for a minute, it didn't take me long to line the pan, but I can definitely tell a slight difference in the texture with just that little time it sat. Now this is where she added the, and I keep saying she, I'm sorry I didn't have her name handy so that I could say what the name of her channel is. But I'll definitely have it in the description. And then tap it a few times to get out any air bubbles. And then at this point we're going to put it in the oven that's already preheated for 320 degrees Fahrenheit. For an hour. And we'll come back, and once it's done, and show you how it turned out. I'll also, since I'm coming back, I'll have her name when I come back. So let's get it in the oven for an hour. Okay. Fresh out the oven. I'm going to let it cool off for a few minutes and then take it out of there. Oh, can you see that stain? So it's still quite hot. So I'm going to let this cool off about 30 minutes or so. Come back and cut it and give it a taste. Alright, I've let it cool off, so we're going to cut into it. Give it a taste. See what we're working with. I don't really want an end piece. So. Oh, it's still got steam coming out of it. It's a little more crumbly than I want it. I think I give up on banana bread. Yeah, this is not great. I don't know if it's because, as I said earlier, that it had to sit for a minute while I greased the pan and lined it, that should have been done ahead of time. But yeah, it's more crumbly than I want it. It's not really that moist. And there's not enough oomph in it. I mean, it's not enough of the cinnamon and vanilla flavor. It's almost bland. Yeah, it's a no for me. I won't throw it away. I'll try and doctor it up with a little butter on it maybe. Heat it up and, not this, but I mean, as the days go on, in order to eat it, I'll probably heat it and put some butter on it to add a little more moisture to it. And so I'm not going to waste it and throw it away, but I don't think I'm going to try banana bread anymore. So I don't know if it's the recipes that I'm trying, or since I'm the common denominator, it's probably me. But I really want to be able to make good banana bread. But look how crumbly. Like, that should be more moist and have more flavor to it. I mean, I think the store-bought ones taste better than this. Sorry, it's a no for me. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. As always, I am grateful for your support. I'll never take it for granted. Hope you have a great day, and God bless. Yeah, no.